So in our previous class, we discussed the real meaning of dharma. That dharma is not simply mean religion or faith, because faith is always unstable. It's not fixed. Today we have faith in something and it might not be same in near future. So it is always unstable. So dharma is not, the real meaning of dharma is not faith or religion. Dharma indicates the natural occupation of the living entity. Just like we took example of fire, that the dharma of the fire is heat and light. Fire means heat and light. It is natural occupation. It is natural state of fire. Same for water. The natural state of water is liquid. If we freeze that water, then it will be transformed into solid state and it will no longer be considered as water. So water means it will always be in liquid state. It is its dharma. So dharma is something which is always fixed. It cannot be changed. But faiths and religions can be changed. So our dharma, our occupational duty is that we render service unto the Supreme Lord. All right, now we will be continuing our discussion. See, I may become, today I may be a Hindu, but tomorrow I may become a Christian or Muslim. In this way, faiths can be changed, but dharma is a natural sequence, a natural occupation or connection, right? So dharma can never be changed, but faith and religion can be changed. Any person, he might be assuming, if he's identifying himself with particular religion, so he might be assuming that I am Hindu. But suppose if he fall in love with a Christian girl, so if he marries a Christian girl, so now he will think that I am Christian, or that particular girl who was identifying herself with Christian religion, she might, now her faith will change. She will think, she will identify herself with a Hindu religion. So these faiths and religion can be changed, but dharma, same. It is fixed. It cannot be changed because it is our natural state, natural connection, natural sequence. Krishna says that as soon as there is a discrepancy in the discharge of the dharmas, okay, we already discussed this para in which Krishna tells yada yadai dharmasya glanir bharata. Krishna comes in this material world again and again to re-establish religious principles. Krishna is telling this thing in Bhagavad Gita. All right. Later we also discussed very important point that any best religion is which teaches us to increase our love for Supreme Lord. That is the best religion. So Prabhupada ji himself tells this thing that if you are following any particular religion and you're thinking that it is your dharma, so you should check whether it is encouraging you to love God. If it is encouraging you to love God, then okay, you keep following your dharma. But if it is not, encouraging you, then you come and join our Hare Krishna movement. So this one should understand that whatever dharma one is following, the purpose of following that dharma should be to love God, to increase our love for God. That is what real dharma means. All right. In this age, especially, there is general decay in the consciousness of the masses of people. A few people remember that there is a God, but for the most part, people are forgetting Him. Therefore, they cannot be happy. People are thinking that God is dead, or that we have no obligation to God, or that there is no God. This sort of thinking will never make for happiness. When civilization is godless or atheistic, as it is today, God or his representative comes to remind people of their relationship with the Supreme Consciousness. When Sanatan Goswami inquired from Lord Chaitanya, "What am I? Why am I always in a miserable condition? What is the position of all living entities?" Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately answered that the real identity is that of servant of God. We should not understand the word servant in the sense of materialistic servant. To become a servant of God is a great position. Yes. So one should understand this thing that here in this materialistic world, there are there is a huge gap, differences in such occupations, so called occupations. That one is assuming himself as boss, one is assuming as his servant. So, in these kind of uh, relationships in this material world, inferiority comes. Person feels some kind of inferiority. So one should not assume this word, servant of God, in the sense of materialistic servant. People are always trying to get some government post or some position in a reputed business firm because the service rendered in such positions earn great profits. Although we are very anxious to get good positions in the government service, we do not stop to think of getting a position in God's service. God is the government of all governments. So you might see in this material world, any person who is assuming himself as boss, so he will always see his employee or his servant, whoever is working under him, he will always see him as inferior, that he is inferior to me. He's not he's not in the position, he's not in equal position of me. I am great because I am boss. And you see now, person who think like this, who identify themselves like this, they just keep on chastising people. I was thinking one thing on this. Okay, this is one point, but we should think on this. I was really pondering on this, that whomsoever, any person, if he is behaving in any way with us, so he's himself helpless to behave like that. And Krishna himself is uh, kind of encouraging him to behave like that. But we should understand this thing, that we should not chastise anyone. We should not shout on anyone. Actually, this reflection came in my mind yesterday only. Like there was there was one person who was not kind of he was kind of not following things nicely. I'm not talking about devotee. There was one person. So he was kind of irritating me. So I I immediately chastised him. But later I reflected on this thing that I am no one to chastise anyone. I have no right to chastise or I have no right to shout on anyone. Is it not? We all are living entities of Krishna, a fragmental part of Krishna. And any person, like we all are, as we all are fragmental part of Krishna, so we all are so dear to Krishna. Even if any person who is not serving Krishna, then it's not like Krishna has any envy in his heart for that particular person. That person is also so dear to Krishna. Now, this point also I was reflecting because I know many persons who have great envy for Krishna. They don't chant names of Krishna, not even for once. They never speak from their tongue the names of Krishna. But then also, Krishna is kind of protecting them. Krishna is making arrangements for their survival also. Even though that person, he has no interest to serve Krishna. He does not even he does not even care about existence of Krishna. But then also Krishna is making arrangements for every living entity. There are many points. One more point I was reflecting on that we often stress about this thing that how will we be able to survive in our future? Who will take care of us? If any person, if he's into bhakti only and if he's not doing any job or something, like I'm talking about single person, not a person who is owning a family. So he might be in anxiety that now I'm surviving nicely, I'm getting prasadam nicely, or whatever facilities I'm getting, but how will I survive in my future? So we should immediately think this thing that if Krishna has sent you, if Krishna has made arrangements for your birth in this material world, so Krishna will definitely make arrangements for your survival also. And this is for ordinary people who are not serving Krishna. But people, devotees who are devoted to Krishna, who are serving Krishna, they are very, very dear to Krishna. And Krishna makes special arrangements for them. So we should not worry about these things. So, yeah, this one thing I was thinking yesterday that I am no one to chastise anyone, I'm no one to shout on anyone. We can definitely give correction to devotees if they are doing something wrong, like if they are committing any mistakes. So we can definitely correct, we can definitely give them corrections. Prabhuji also do this. Srila Prabhupada also used to do that. But yeah, we should not get angry on people. We should not get furious on people. This is what I want to tell here. So how this point came that here in this material world, any person who is assuming himself as a boss or a servant, so they kind of think that I am inferior or this or that, but we should not understand this word servant of God in sense of the materialistic servant. God's service is dharma. This dharma may be described differently in different countries according to different cultural and climatic conditions or situations. But in every religious scripture, obedience to God is instructed. So, dharma means that you perform activities to serve Lord. That is our real dharma. No scripture says that there is no God. or that we as living entities are independent, not the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, or even the Buddhist literatures. Generally, according to Buddhist philosophy, there is no individual soul or no supreme soul. But actually, since Lord Buddha is accepted by the Vedic literatures as an incarnation of God, as an incarnation of Krishna, by obeying Lord Buddha, one is actually following God. So, there are many scriptures. But these other scriptures, Bible, Quran, they came few thousand years back. Prabhupada ji told this thing. So yes, even in these scriptures also, nowhere it is mentioned that there is no God or there or that we living entities are independent. Yesterday I was kind of irritated again because of the weather climate here in Rajasthan. It is constantly raining. Sun is not rising at all. Constantly raining, and only raining. So I was literally very much irritated that what is this? Only it's raining and sun is not rising. So I was kind of feeling upset yesterday. So I was reflecting on this point again that we are so much helpless. We can't control anything. If it's constantly raining, then we have to tolerate that. We can't control anything. We are not independent to control anything. Is it not? So I was really reflecting on these things. And I was also telling this to one Mataji also. So she was also agreeing on this thing. That yes, we are so helpless. We are actually helpless for everything. And any person who will understand this thing, then he will understand that my only like my only purpose is to surrender to God. Only this way I can be satisfied. I can't control things by my ways. So yeah, living entities are not independent. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a list of incarnations, and Lord Buddha is accepted as one of them. Incarnations of Lord Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by Vyasadeva 5,000 years ago, and Lord Buddha appeared about 2600 years ago. So, Srimad Bhagavatam actually foretold the event of his incarnation. So, Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Krishna. Lord Buddha preached that there is no God and no soul, that this body is a combination of matter. Now, one question may arise in mind that if Lord Buddha is Lord Krishna himself, incarnation of Krishna, then why is he preaching like this that there is no God, no soul, and we all are one? Why is he preaching like this? Or even Shankaracharya ji. Shankaracharya is incarnation of Lord Shiva. So he is also preaching Mayavad. So why are these preaching like this? To bewildered people. To bewildered people. One should understand this thing that if we are following this path, this is because of Krishna's grace. Otherwise, possibility might be there that we were also following these Buddhist philosophy or Shankaracharya philosophy. So one should understand that this auspicious knowledge of Krishna consciousness is confidential. It is profound. And so that, like, people who are of poor mentality, poor in sense demon mentality, they may not take a wrong advantage of bhakti. That's why Krishna arranges things like this, that people may get bewildered. And we should know this thing, that many people, they are bhakti chor. They don't want to serve Lord. That's why also they follow this path. They are so much interested in following these paths, these kind of paths, these kind of processes, because they don't want to serve Lord. So yes, Lord Buddha preached that there is no God and no soul, that this body is a combination of matter, and that when we dissolve this material combination, senses of misery and happiness will no longer exist. Shunyavad. Then Shankaracharya appeared to preach that the external feature of Brahman, the body, is merely an illusion. In all religions, temple worship and acceptance of authority are present. We may accept Krishna or Lord Jesus Christ or Jehovah or Lord Buddha or Shankaracharya or Guru Nanak, but in any case, acceptance of authority is required. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna is accepted as the supreme authority. Sometimes Krishna descends personally, and sometimes he descends by his incarnations. Yes. So we should appreciate our fortunate that we have taken birth in this age of Kali Yuga in human form of life. We are blessed to have this human form of life in this age of Kali Yuga, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared just 500 years ago, and we are following this process. Yes. So this is one thing which we should understand. We should always appreciate our fortune. So yes, Krishna himself descended personally 500 years ago. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself, yes. Sometimes he descends as a sound vibration, and sometimes he descends as a devotee. There are many different categories of avatars. In this present age, Krishna has descended in his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yes, we all know this, that when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are getting direct association of Krishna. And to remember this thing, we need to hear this every single day. So in this age of Kali, Krishna has descended as a sound vibration. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also confirmed that in this age of Kali, Krishna has descended in the form of sound vibration. Sound is one of the forms which the Lord takes. Therefore, it is stated that there is no difference between Krishna and his name. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself, he came to teach people that how one should devote to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has told all the things. Krishna is saying everything, that you devote to me, you pay obeisances to me, you take my shelter. Okay, Krishna has instructed everything. But now Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to actually teach people that how you should surrender to Krishna, how you should devote to Krishna, how you should pay obeisances to Krishna, how you should offer your homage to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach this, that how you should chant holy names of Krishna nicely to get his love. So yes, he confirmed that Lord came, descended in the form of sound vibration. Today, people have forgotten their relationship with God, but this incarnation of Krishna in the form of his holy names, this chanting of Hare Krishna, will deliver all the people of the world from their forgetfulness. So, I want to share my experience with this, then we will stop here. Like in the very beginning, I used to hear Hare Krishna Kirtan every time. Like, to be very honest, I was not even sincerely chanting holy names of Krishna on Mala. I was not sincerely chanting. I was just so much habitual. I was kind of, um, yeah, I was habitual of hearing that Hare Krishna Kirtan. That was just amazing. So much energetic Kirtan it was. So I used to hear it again and again and again. Whatever I used to do, I just used to hear that again and again. So I shared this thing 2 days ago also in discussion session that when I was doing this, earlier I was habitual of putting so much of makeup. This makeup, that makeup, this dress, that dress. Like this is the only work I used to do. This hairstyle, this outfit, that outfit, or this makeup, that makeup, all of those things only. But later, as I was hearing this Hare Krishna Kirtan, then naturally I was disinclined in doing all those things. I was kind of feeling lethargicness in doing all of those things. I don't want to wear different clothes now, or who will comb hair again and again. I was kind of feeling lethargicness. So I still remember this thing exactly that I I had to go somewhere with one person. Somewhere I had to go. So I was getting ready that day. I was wearing nice clothes, I was putting makeup. So even like after getting ready, I was not feeling good. Then I went at that place. Then later when I again reached at my home, when I uh, looked myself, when I watched myself in the mirror, I was kind of thinking that why am I looking so ugly? Even though I have put lots of makeup, but still I'm looking like a cartoon. Literally, I was feeling this. I never heard this thing that we should not put makeup. We are not this body. We should stay away from all the bodily conception. I never heard this thing. Even I didn't heard this thing at that time. But then also I was feeling like this. I was not feeling to put more makeup or something like that. So why I have told this experience, that any person who is chanting Hare Krishna, even he is not chanting if he is hearing, but important thing is he is hearing it attentively, means nicely he is hearing it or chanting, or however he is connected with this great Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then he will definitely experience transformations in his life. This was really astonishing for me. And later I realized this thing. Oh, this was happening with me because I was hearing Hare Krishna. I was hearing Kirtan of Hare Krishna. That's why it happened with me. So this mantra is actually magical mantra that whomsoever he is chanting or hearing this great Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he will definitely experience transformations in his life. So this is like brilliant thing. Later, when I heard the glories of this great mantra, I was convinced that all I have to do is I have to chant more and more. So I used to just chant. If I'm doing any work, I was not hearing Krishna Katha much at that time. I just heard the glories of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I was convinced that all I have to do is I have to chant. So when I was doing something, I used to chant constantly. I used to tell people about this mantra that how I'm experiencing magical things in my life. So you should also chant. So I used to chant with them out loud. I used to chant out loud with them. So I used to chant like 30 to 40 rounds during that time with people. I was not able to do it alone, but I used to separately join people. Like I used to tell them that you connect with me on Zoom or video call, we will chant together. So like after every hour or after some time in a day, I used to separately join with people and I used to make them chant. That you chant with me out loud. So 1 or 2 rounds they used to chant with me. So this way I was chanting 30 to 40 rounds. So this is quite amazing that all you need to do is you need to get convinced that this mantra is a magical mantra and you will get all the qualities just by chanting this mantra. So yes, see it's mentioned also here that today people have forgotten the relationship with God, but this incarnation of Krishna in the form of his holy names, this chanting of Hare Krishna will deliver all the people of the world from their forgetfulness. So basically, when you are getting away from all these bodily conception, then what does that mean? That you are going closer to Krishna. Bodily conception are going away and soul conception is awakening. So, are you able to relate with this? My bodily conception of putting makeup or changing outfits, making different hairstyles, they were just vanishing away, and I was getting more interested in making people chant Hare Krishna. So, this is quite amazing. Sorry for making discussion so long today. We'll stop here now. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol. Okay. Hare Krishna.